I recently started my YouTube channel earlier this year. This video will basically be about why you should start your channel, or maybe why you shouldn't start your channel. Some pros and cons, some tips, and if you're ready for it, let's get into it. Now, creating a YouTube channel, everyone probably has the idea once in their life. Since we're young, we're watching all these different creators, the YouTubers, Mr. Beast and all those lot. And we always have that small passion, whether we acknowledge it or not, that we want to create a YouTube channel. But how many of us actually get around to doing it? It's something that everyone should do. It's very good, whether you grow or not. There are benefits to it, aside from the money aspect, which is the money aspect is what most people do it for, and that's understandable. But there are a lot of other benefits as well, whether you grow or not, and growth isn't guaranteed for everyone. So, coming into creating or starting a YouTube channel, you should keep that in mind. But I would still advise everyone to do it. Why? Because firstly, that aspect of public speaking, so many of us find it difficult to speak to others, to, for example, go for interviews, apply for jobs, speak in the workplace, express yourself. And yes, speaking to a camera is different, but it helps you articulate your words. It helps you be more concise in what you're saying, helps you be more clear, and helps getting your point across. You can't just waffle on for so long, no one's going to watch it. But that aspect of saying those words loudly, forming a sentence, making it make sense, and not just in your head, all this comes into it, and all this takes a part. For so many people, they'll write a script, they'll go through it, they'll practice it. Just that practicing helps a lot as well. I myself, I only keep bullet points, and I just talk like this. I find it's more natural, and with a script, I'll just start reading, and that flow won't come naturally. But many people just write a script from beforehand. It takes a lot of time, but they'll edit it, they'll make it sound like themselves, they'll practice it, and then they'll say it in front of a camera, and that can help in many aspects of life. Like we mentioned, the potential for income through ads, sponsorships, merchandise. Obviously, as you grow your brand or your business or your channel, you'll get to a stage where you can monetize it. So I've done this with a separate channel. You can start making money. The first step is through AdSense, YouTube, Google AdSense. You'll make money through ads being placed on or within your video. And then you can, if you've got a loyal following, a loyal audience, you can maybe take them to a newsletter. You can get companies doing sponsorships or promotions within your videos. There's loads of other streams of income that can come out from having a YouTube channel. The third point, or the third reason why I'm telling you to start a YouTube channel, is because many of us, especially now with this social life, with the environment around us, we need a way to express creativity or express ideas and just express yourself. Some might do it in the form of art, some might do it in the form of writing or journaling, others might do it in the form of photography. A lot of people, they'll just need an outlet, and YouTube is a great way to do that. Anything that you've got in your mind, you've got ideas, you've got tips to share with people, you've got advice, anything, having the outlet just for yourself, just for your own mental health, is really good. And then that's not even taking into account the amount of people that you'll benefit, and they'll benefit from you because of your content or because of your advice. So keep that in mind. Following on from this, you will have knowledge which other people don't have, and they're looking for it. So if you're not going to put it online, and if others have the same mindset, then who'll actually put that content online? If you've got some specific knowledge, very niche down, share it. And that could be your ticket to insane growth. You never know. But make the most of it. Share what you know, teach others, and be genuine in actually helping people. If your creative outlet through YouTube is just to provide entertainment through gaming or whatever, then that's perfectly fine. You don't always need to share knowledge or share something beneficial. Sometimes it's just purely to provide entertainment, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is, YouTube can be used for anything. So, as I said earlier, if you build that loyal audience, then you can get many more streams of income. So the aspect of actually building a loyal audience, that opportunity to build a community, not only around yourself or your brand, but around your shared interests as well. If you like gaming, a certain type of game, and you produce content for it, then people watch it, and then they'll interact with your content. That way you know that you've got people who are interested in the same things as you. You know that sharing content on that topic will be valuable, will be entertaining, and you know that there are others out there like you who share the same interests, who have the same hobbies. It's a bit cliche, but you have that sense of belonging. It might not be much, it might not be a lot, but it's, some people have this gap that they try to fill, and they try different hobbies out, and they try this and that out. But sometimes it's just a case of you wanting to belong into a community, and believe it or not, YouTube can actually do that. Or social media in general can do that as one of the very few benefits of it. But YouTube in particular, I think, can help with that, because they communicate a lot better with each other, they interact a lot more with each other, and having that platform where you share and where people give feedback, people give their opinions, it's really helpful to build that community. The next tip I'll give you is, or the next piece of advice, or the next suggestion, I should say, for creating a YouTube channel is that there's the possibility of always turning it into a full-time career. You will always see this on YouTube, on social media. Your 9 to 5 is killing you and it's taking over your life. You're getting drained, you're tired. And for a lot of people that's the case, yes. So if that is you, then YouTube can help with that. YouTube is another way outside of your 9 to 5 which can potentially turn into a career if you enjoy it, and if you're good at it. If you keep at it, eventually you'll grow, and you could start making enough money that you can quit your 9 to 5 and you can make YouTube your full-time career. Or not even YouTube, you can use YouTube to get that, either that audience or get that brand name to create something else, maybe create digital products, create a course, or find some other way to create a different career for yourself, one that isn't bound by 9 to 5 or with a boss or things like that. I've said some suggestions of why you should start a YouTube channel. I do have to add in some potential cons or drawbacks that if you were to start one you could face, or something you have to keep in mind from beforehand, that it shouldn't put you down, because it happens to everyone. The first is, it's very time consuming to create content, to script content, to come up with content, then to edit, to post, to create thumbnails and tags and descriptions and all of it. It takes a lot of time. That's why so many people aren't consistent, myself included. You aim for having one long piece of content a week, and it ends up 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes a month, 2 months, and you've just not posted anything. And that's because sometimes you just don't have that motivation, because it takes so long. So it does require consistent effort, but it is worth it. The second potential drawback that you need to know is, in this social media world, people have that negative aspect and they'll project it onto you. So you should be able to take that. You've got a comment section for your videos, and people can comment. They've got the ability to comment what they want, and you don't let that put you down. If you're someone who gets affected very easily, then this might not be for you. If you're in a very controversial niche, or maybe you're not very good at something but you're just documenting the way you do it, but you can't take, or you take everything to heart, then this might not be the path that you should take. You should have sort of tough skin to take some criticism, to take some negativity. And I'm not saying just absorb it all and let it affect your mental health. What I'm saying is, it's going to happen. Just forget about it and just keep going. That's a simple case of it. Another potential drawback is you might have to make an initial investment into a microphone, a camera, some equipment, a studio space, whatever it is, depending on how far you're willing to go immediately. Myself, I'm just using my phone, an S21 Plus. The camera's pretty decent. I'm not using a mic right now, but I do have a mic which I've bought, and when I'm sort of in a more formal setting compared to this is very informal, but when I'm in a more formal setting with producing scripted content, which I've planned out more from before, then I'll use a mic for that. You can see that in my other videos. You might have to invest in some editing software. There's plenty of free ones out there. I don't have that right now as well, but you can definitely do it. What I'm saying is, there is potential for initial investment. It's up to you if you want to go down that route, but don't spend so much time and money looking for that, buying things, and then not actually doing the work in creating videos and creating content and uploading it, because what's the point? It'd just be a waste of money. So do it, but make sure you've got the motivation to continue. Which is why I'm doing this. I'm using only my phone. I've only invested in a smaller mic. It was pretty cheap, so I'll build up on my momentum, my motivation. Once I've started growing a bit more, then I'll be sort of convinced that yeah, it's working. I'll spend a bit more money, and that way I'll keep doing it. So I know that it's not a waste of money from beforehand. Now, this next one is what would probably stop most people. Is that there's so much oversaturation. Everything that you do, if you search it on YouTube, is probably already being done, and that's what holds people. That's what holds people back, really. And I was the same. I'd be like, I've got this knowledge, I know this, but when I search for it, someone's already done it, someone's already said it. And if you're going to stay like that, then you're never going to get anywhere, because at this point, someone's probably done everything already. It's just what makes it different is you, your personality, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you get your point across. Just because someone else has made videos on the same thing doesn't mean that other people won't benefit from the way you say it. You might explain it differently. You might show a different perspective. You might give the same concept, but break it down in such a way that it's a lot more clear to everyone. Let's take the example for maths, yeah? Maths A-levels or GCSEs or whatever. In class, it's very difficult to get it. Sometimes the teachers aren't very good. Sometimes the content just goes straight over your head. And then as soon as you type it into YouTube and you see one of those Indian guys that explain it to you, all of a sudden you get it. Why? It's just the way they do it. The content is exactly the same. The topic is exactly the same. They're both teachers. One's in your classroom, one's online. It's just that the one on YouTube has taught you a certain way, their way of how to do it. And the teacher in class taught you their way, or maybe following a curriculum, and they had to teach it a specific way, which you didn't understand. So there's always different ways of going about and doing something. It's just unique to your style, and people can benefit from that. This point went from sort of a negative to a positive, really. Just because it's oversaturated doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. And get into it, start doing it, start producing content, and people will eventually watch. Finally, one big drawback I'd say is the algorithm. You could be producing content for months, if not years for some people, and your channel just doesn't go anywhere. One reason that could be is because of the algorithm. It keeps changing, or your content doesn't align with it somehow. You might not be optimizing your titles or your tags, or your thumbnails might not be good, or wherever it is, wherever the algorithm checks to boost your content, the algorithm keeps changing, so you have to keep changing with it, and that can be a drawback, but it's not a big one. As long as you produce quality content and actually give advice, be helpful, then the hope is that you will grow. The algorithm will pick up on it, people will pick up on it, and you will eventually grow and make something out of this. Alright, so just to summarize with a few tips. Number one, choose the niche that you're passionate about and make content around that. It doesn't have to be so narrowed down that you can only make content basically focusing on that, but make it around your personality as well, make it around your interests, but still have a niche of some sort. It can be vague, but don't just do everything and anything. Have some sort of focus and make videos around that. For example, I'm doing careers, apprenticeships, business a little bit as well, side hustles, and a little bit of travel as well. It is vague, but once I start making more content and I find out what works or what's working with me, then I'll focus more on that. The second tip, invest in some decent audio quality, get a mic or a better camera or phone or something like that. And number three, make sure you're consistent with your upload schedule. I'm very bad at this, but I need to try a lot harder as well. But that's a tip that I'd give you. As if you keep consistent, that will help your growth in the long run. Number four, engage with the audience through comments, community posts. Once you start growing bigger, people will interact with your content, so make sure you interact back. That way you have that very human like connection rather than someone just behind a screen. That connection or that relationship won't build if you don't respond as well. Number five, optimize your titles, your tags, descriptions, anything to help your content appear in searches. Number six, collaborate with other creators. Once you grow bigger, try to collaborate with creators in the same niche who have a sort of larger audience. That way you can pull in their audience for your benefit as well. And number seven, analyze metrics. Once you have enough results, from your content, analyze the metrics, see what's working, and double down on that. Finally, stay authentic. No one likes it when someone's faking it, when someone's not true to themselves, or when someone's waffling. Be genuine, give advice, try to actually help others, and make sure your personality comes out through that as well, and not just try to fake it so that people might like you. Online, it's very easy to pick up on. It has the potential to just result in nothing. Yeah, hopefully that helps. So this is just basically a summary of why you should start a YouTube channel, why I did as well. If you're thinking about it, we've got another 5 months left in 2024. 2025 is going to start as well. So if you want to start a YouTube channel for 2025, start planning content from now, start creating content from now, then you can have a sort of a run in 2025. Or start from today. You can start posting, creating content. The earlier you start, the faster you'll see results, or the more sooner you'll see results. And that's with anything in life. Just start. There's literally no way that this isn't beneficial for you. Yes, one thing to address, there's the aspect of when you create content, you're scared that people you know will see it. And I'm the same as well. I've not grown enough that people have seen this, that I know. But that fear is there, and it will happen eventually. People will find out. But how much can it really affect you? The benefits outweigh this so much that this fear should just be at the back of your mind, or just get rid of it. It's not needed. Don't let the idea of others judging you stop you from actually achieving something worthwhile. That's it from me. I'll see you next time.